Devaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vandeham Siddhapadakamalam Siddhu Vaishnavamscha Shirupam Sagrayatam Shagna Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Shagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pakulam Gayate Yat Kripatam Aham Vande Shri Guru Dilataranam. ¿Puedes el día?
No se sabe nada. No sabe nada.
Muy buena noticia.
No, bueno,
Jaya y Vijaya.
Así la Urmash ki
Jai Ho.
Jai. Satta Brahma ki Jai.
Jai Ho.
Jai Ho.
Brahma. Majja Yatra. Hungary Yatra. No, Vrindavan Yatra. Yas Yam Nitam La Yasha Shravana Vagaha Sadhya Punati Jagat Ashva Pachat Vikunta Soham Bharadbhya Upalampa Sutirtha Kirtis Chindyam Svabhahum Apiva Pratikula Vritim. Anyone in the entire world, even down to the Chandala, who lives eating the flesh of the dog, is immediately purified if he takes bath in hearing through the ear the glorification of my name, fame, etc. Now you have realized me without doubt. Therefore, I will not hesitate to look off my own arm if its conduct is found hostile to you. Now you have realized me without doubt. Therefore, I will not hesitate to look off my own arm if its conduct is found hostile to you. Srila Prabhupada explained. Real purification takes place in human society if its members take to Krishna consciousness. This is clearly stated in all Vedic literature. Anyone who has taken to Krishna consciousness in all sincerity, even if he is not very advanced in good behavior, is purified. A devotee can be recruited from any section of human society. Also, it is not expected that everyone in all segments of society is well behaved. As stated in this verse and many places in Bhagavad Gita, even if one is not born in a Brahmin family, or even if he is born in a family of Chandala, if he simply takes to Krishna consciousness, he is immediately purified. In Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, verse 30 to 32, is clearly stated that even though a man is not well behaved, if he simply takes to Krishna consciousness, he is understood to be a person. As long as a person is in this material world, he has two different relationships in his dealings with others. One relationship pertaining to the body and the other pertains to the spirit. As far as bodily affairs or social activities are concerned, also a person is purified on the spiritual platform, sometimes seen that he acts in terms of his relationship. If a devotee born in a family of a Chandala, the lowest caste, is sometimes found engaged in his habitual activities, he is not to be considered a Chandala. In other words, a Vaishnava should not be evaluated in terms of his body. The Shastras states that no one should think the deity in the temple to be made of wood or stone. And no one should think that a person coming from a lower class family who has taken to Krishna consciousness is still of the same low caste. These attitudes are forbidden because anyone who takes to Krishna consciousness to be fully purified, he is at least engaged in the process of purification. To be fully purified, he is at least engaged in Krishna consciousness. He will soon be fully purified. The conclusion is that if one takes to Krishna consciousness with all seriousness, he is to be understood as already purified. And Krishna is ready to give him protection by all means. The Lord assures herein that he is ready to give protection to his devotees, even if there is need to cut off part of his own body. My God. I mean, Prabhupada, he keeps astonishing me, you know. You can't say that I don't know anything about Srila Prabhupada because reading his books for 50 years, but he still astonishes me. And the whole Bhagavatam philosophy is astonishing. Let's just find. This is chapter 7. It's Brahma Uvacha. Lord Brahma said, after thus congratulating the sages for their nice words, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose abode is in the kingdom of God, spoke as follows. Personality of Godhead said, these attendants of mine, Jai and Vijay, by name, have committed a great offense against you because of ignoring me. O great sages, I approve of the punishment that you who are devoted to me have meted out to them. To me, the Brahman is the highest and most beloved personality. The disrespect shown to my attendants, the disrespect shown by my attendants has actually been displayed by me because the doormen are my servitors. I take this to be an offense by myself. Therefore, I seek your forgiveness for I seek for your forgiveness due to the incident that has arisen. A wrong act committed by the servant leads people in general to blame his master, just as a spot of white leprosy on any part of the body pollutes all the skin. And then comes the verse here. Anyone in the entire world, even down to the Chandala, who lives by cooking and eating the flesh of a dog, is immediately purified if he takes baths in hearing through his ear the glorification of my name, fame, etc. Now you have realized me without a doubt. Therefore I will not hesitate to lop off my own arm if its contact is found hostile to you. Oh, I got it. So sending Jai and Vijay to become demons, the Lord considers like cutting off his own arm, because there is associates, but they have done an offense to the Kumaras. Oh, what a story, no? The Vedic culture, that is too much. is just a bit too much. And that's why we're here, because it's just too good to be true. How could we go anywhere else? How could we do anything else when Krishna consciousness is so amazing? That the Supreme Lord, I mean, what Prabhupada writes in the purpose, wow! That what Prabhupada writes in the purpose, that it does confirm what I feel myself. I have said it a few times, not everybody agrees, but I think of this movement, quite a few people will go back to God. Maybe thousands, maybe millions, only Krishna knows. Because Prabhupada's influence in this world is very intensive. And he touched what he says there. Even if they are still lowly behaved at some point in their relations, no? Should never see somebody who starts chanting Hare Krishna. It's also a good lesson for us, because in South America, for example, we preach to so many devotees, and they're kind of nice devotees, but they end up smoking marijuana again, or doing this or that. It is quite common, no? And then we have a tendency, at least some of us, to judge them and say, oh, he's useless. He's useless. He's of no value. He can be disregarded or whatever. And that may be our point of view, but it's not Krishna's point of view. Otherwise this verse would not say what Prabhupada said. Krishna's point of view is he already heard about me, he already chanted my name, he already took prasada, he already came in contact with my devotee. Oh, then he's very important, I have to rescue him. Because if that would not be the reality, then this movement would be very useless. I'm sorry to say. I'm surprised by my own words. Because if it would only purify, take back home those who are impeccable their entire life and realize their eternal relationship with Krishna by their deepest meditation and realization of Siddha Swarupa in deepest meditation. If only those people go back to home, I think there's just too much effort made for too little result. I'm sorry to say that. I mean, we should always, what Srila Sridhar says, keep the goal inside. Don't let the goal go out of your sight. But just walk, go, move. Don't be disheartened. Don't give up. And of course, if you, what I just say, if you then say, oh, very good, now I can smoke marijuana again, because that's not appreciated. If you're faulty in plan, you plan to be faulty, say, yes, Krishna, let Krishna take care of this. No, this is not nice, not a nice attitude. But if there is a fault, then we should not think that that will be an impediment. It's more or less how you see others. How you see others. I forever give the example of Mario Pepas. I can never forget. Mario Pepas was a drug addict from the street of Bogota. He came to the Sunday feast. He loved Krishna consciousness and went back on the street, and he kept taking his intoxication. He was addicted, he could not give it up. But every Sunday, we had at least 5 or 10 new guests who were in the temple. Mario Pepa sent me, Mario Pepa sent me. Mario Pepa was preaching more than devotees. So, I mean, that example, I never forget that, you know, because I became a devotee. I was there, and you don't know what happened afterwards, you know. Krishna consciousness. I mean, I've worked with people. One person came to me, a drug dealer. He came to our temple in Bogota, and he said, "I want to give money to the temple, but you have to give me blessings for this business, dealing with drugs." I said, "Sorry, no, sorry, you can't ask me that. I cannot bless you in dealing drugs. Drugs ruin people's life. They're bad. How can I bless you?" And so he was very sad. Anyway, he left a donation on the altar and never came back. The next thing I heard was he was in jail. They caught him in his drug dealing, they threw him in jail. After he left the jail, he was an American, he joined the temple in Alatra, became initiated and became a devotee. So,
that was the blessing. That was the blessing.
You never know, you know. But he left a donation on the altar. I didn't want it like as a trade-off, you know. I give a donation and he left $20,000 on the altar. So it wasn't a joke, you know. With that money we could help to finish the first part of our temple. So like this, you know, Krishna consciousness is too much, it's too lively, too dynamic, too sweet, too deep. And if we think it's not, we become the judges and we say, "Oh, this one is nonsense, this one is nonsense." You think they are nonsense, but if they came in contact with Krishna consciousness, they are already elevated. They are already fantastic people. They are so fantastic. So if you can really understand the mystical feelings of Krishna for his devotees, well, you don't have to understand that. Just read what Prabhupada writes. Prabhupada puts it very clear. I mean, if you read that Prabhupada, I get like, oh. I say, "Oh, there may be some little hope for me too. Maybe Krishna will give me the chance to serve him and not get lost, because get lost in this world means losing the contact with the devotees. Devotees out of sight, no more prasadam, no more Harisankirtan, no more reading of Bhagavatam. That would be terrifying. So therefore, I think when it comes to the end of the story, because there is no end to this story, the Krishna story is eternal. It's like if anybody takes a little bit and does a little bit for Krishna, Krishna doesn't forget that. Krishna will say, "Oh yes, look, he was in charge of the temple when he was young. Later he got married and he forgot, with all his business, he forgot to give donation to the temple. And when he was young, he was actually there and he got up for Mangalartik every day." I think Krishna works that way, you know? And it's very comforting to me to feel that way. Therefore, also for example, we have to respect the Brijvasis. Maybe the Brijvasi is smoking BD, maybe he's doing this, maybe he's doing that, no? But they have heard about Krishna 5 million times, they have eaten prasadam thousands of times, they're living in Vrindavan, they are already okay. Maybe Krishna will give them another birth as a monkey in Vrindavan, or a dog, maybe gives that to me. Maybe I can become a dog or a monkey in Vrindavan. That would be a great blessing, you know. At least you're hearing the holy name. At least you're hearing the holy name and you take some prasadam. You know, monkeys, when they get the bandaras, and they take the plates from the devotees and they go, and they lick over the remnants of the devotees. Wow, what kind of service is this, you know? It's like the humility top. No? And yes, they're eating the devotees' remnants. So they are already, and while they are sitting there, there's kirtan going on. Maybe the monkey is not dancing in the kirtan like this, but who knows, maybe he's dancing from one twig to the other, you know. How can we tell? So, To me,
Para mí,
this purport and
este
what
significado,
Lord Krishna says
Señor
himself,
Krishna dice él
that
mismo,
I'm ready to
yo
chop
estoy
off an
listo de
arm
cortarme mi
if
brazo.
this arm of mine
Si este
has
brazo
hurt
mío
you,
te ha
has
herido,
giving trouble to you.
si me
I mean, that's a
ha
pretty
causado problemas
extreme
ustedes,
thing to say.
es algo muy
I don't know
extremo
why
para
Lord
decir.
Krishna
No
is
sé por qué el
talking
Señor
that
Krishna
extreme.
habla de
I'll
manera
chop
tan
off a
extrema,
limb of my body
decir como que se va a
if that
romper la
limb
parte
has
del
done
cuerpo.
anything bad to you.
Si
I mean,
eso ha
it's
hecho algo
very
malo a ustedes,
extreme, no?
es algo muy
But
extremo, ¿no?
that's the way the Lord
Pero esa es la
feels.
forma en la que el Señor se siente.
So, if we learn from that,
Si nosotros
then we
aprendemos
should
de
come
eso,
to the conclusion,
entonces
hey,
deberíamos ir al
never
conclusión de que
hurt a devotee,
nunca lastimes a un
never
devoto,
hurt anyone.
nunca lastimes a
They
nadie.
may be very special.
Tal vez es muy
They
especial.
are very special.
De hecho, ya son
Here's a
muy
correction
especiales.
of myself.
Me
Not
corrijo a
they
mí
may
mismo.
be very
No es que
special.
tal vez ellos son muy
They
especiales.
are very
Ellos ya
special.
son muy especiales.
Everybody who has heard the holy name
Todo aquel que ha
once,
escuchado el santo
chanted
nombre,
once, he's
ya
already
ya
special.
Ya es especial.
What to speak of all these devotees who have done so much wonderful service.
Tanto servicio
Oh
maravilloso.
Krishna,
Oh, Krishna.
over the years when I think about all the devotees who have helped me to spread Krishna consciousness, to glorify Srila Prabhupada, and to do something for the movement, you know, when I think of them, I start crying inside. How much service they did, how wonderful. And yes, and they're not doing right now the same amount of service as they did before, or maybe they do it somewhere else, who knows. But if they ever did service so surrendered, Krishna is the one who received that service, because service was done for Krishna, because I never engaged anybody for my service. I don't have any business in this world. I have no property in this world. I have no purpose in this world. I have no goal in this world. I don't like this world. I want to get out of this world. I'm disgusted with 5 million things in this world, but I love to do something for Prabhupada, for Krishna conscious, for Srila Bhakti Rakam, Srila Maharaj, for Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, for Srila Bhakti I love to do something for them. I would love to do much more. If for some reason I would be now a billionaire or something, I would just come here and take care of everything. But I don't think Krishna wants that, because if one rich man comes and fixes everything and does everything, then there's no more service for the others. And they have to go to another planet for preaching. If everything is already impeccable, clean, if all the temples are perfectly fixed, if all the prasadam and the medicine for all the devotees is always there, then there's no more challenge for us. No? The challenge is in, how is that saying? A friend in need is a friend indeed. So there has to be a need for you to understand who is your friend indeed. So the devotees are the friends indeed, because they are the friends for those who are in need. So that's why we go out in Sankirtan, and we go out to people we don't even know. And we say hello, and they say, who are you? Hello, my friend. Some devotees, when they greet another person, they go like this. Hey, incredible! I see you. And the other person thinks, why, you knew me, you met me. He's getting in a state of shock. You are my dearest soul of God's family. Because everybody is a member of God's family. So if you preach with this type of intensity, and people become, like for example, I'm sitting on a table in front of Yamuna Kunja. No, I'm not approaching people like this, but some people look. And if I just send them and say, come, come, come. It's like you throwing some hook, huh? And you're pulling them over, because you with your eyes. Yes, yes, come. Huh? Immediately then they walk over. Otherwise they just walk by feeling you're wanted, you're appreciated, you're good, you're someone. So this is the devotees, they always want everybody to come to Krishna consciousness. And it is very, very wonderful and very charming. So my dearest Srila Prabhupada, he gave us the facility to serve. And it is here. Prabhupada, Krishna says himself, even if he is a Chandala. Now this is something I don't think the Indian people like from the South Indian Sampradayas who are so rigid, so caste conscious, I don't think they read that verse very carefully. Because they are thinking they have to first be born in a Brahmin family before you're able to hear about these things. They're like they discriminate between the human beings, and even in Vrindavan, there's some people like the people who say Gopinath Mandir with the garden. I offered to Raja, hey, let's take care of this garden, make this garden beautiful. And that, okay, he said, they said, it's fine, you can do it.